My channel has been dedicated to helping Bowser players step up their game with guide after guide after guide. But what if I were to do the opposite? That's right, this video is going to be about how to beat Bowser. Now, one thing I want to get out of the way before this video starts is that if you are a Bowser main and you are upset that I'm spilling the beans, think of it this way. Facing players who don't know the matchup creates bad habits. For example, a lot of unranked players will often blindly run into your shield and you'll get a free up B. That conditions you to keep shielding. Even if you don't outright think, I'm going to shield more, your brain will subconsciously. So if you want to improve, it can actually be in your best interest to face players who know the matchup, because learning the game properly is far more important than short-term unranked wins. And if you're a casual player that just plays for fun, I can understand you being irritated at me, and I apologize for that. I understand that not everyone plays this game seriously, but this channel is dedicated for those who do. Alright, that was a long intro, so let's jump right into the video. Beating Bowser largely comes down to three main skills that I'll talk about in this video. Those skills are spacing, patience, and awareness, or SPA. I'll talk about all three of these in order, so that means starting with spacing. Good spacing is a Bowser's worst nightmare. Bowser has good range, but he's incredibly slow and most of his attacks have a lot of lag on them. When fighting Bowser, you want to make sure that you are never within super close range of him. This is because of multiple factors. First of all, second of all, the Bowser doesn't need to approach. Think about it, one of Bowser's biggest weaknesses is his poor approach game. If you're in very close proximity of him at all times, this weakness effectively does not exist. So make sure that in neutral, you are never very close to Bowser. You always want to be about this distance away from him, although it still seems quite close. This is just outside Bowser's effective range, and if you are playing a fast character, even one that has poor range like Fox, you have the speed on your side to punish him if he throws out an unsafe attack. And if you're playing a character with poor speed and range, well, God help you, I guess. So next up is patience. During the previous section, I was kind of hinting at the fact that you should not be the one approaching. As I mentioned, approaching is not exactly Bowser's forte, so if you can make him do it, that makes his life a whole lot harder. Since Bowser is very slow, the optimal defense for most characters should be something like this. Abuse your superior movement while also mixing up your defensive options. Dash dancing, wave landing, wave dashing, etc, etc. You should always remain unpredictable, as Bowser needs a lot of reads to win. Additionally, if you're in a situation where you are forced to approach, such as the Bowser player having a lead, you should never blindly rush in. Always maintain your patience and wait for a good moment to approach. An example of this is faking an approach in order to bait out a defensive forward air or shield, and then punishing it. Baits are a fantastic way to create a window for approaching. And lastly, I'll talk about awareness. This one is extremely important. When facing a Bowser, or any low tier for that matter, it's super important that you recognize their options and respect them. Bowser may be a bad character, but he has several fantastic options up his armband that will get you if you're not mindful of them. The first of these, and probably the one you'll see the most often, is up B out of shield. It's a great option, but believe me, it has counterplay. With good spacing, pretty much every character can outspace it, and that can sometimes lead to a free punish. Characters like Marth especially have the range in order to beat it with ease. Another one is ledge attack. A lot of people will just run at Bowser when he's on ledge and then get hit by ledge attack, but this move is honestly kind of a gimmick. It is good, especially for edge guarding, but it's very easy to exploit. It can be crouch cancelled quite easily, it's pretty laggy, and can be very easily baited because a lot of Bowsers love to spam this, even myself sometimes. What I'm getting at is that it's important to recognize that Bowser, despite being a bad character, has plenty of options that you need to respect and look out for. Trust me, unranked Falcos, you can't just brute force your way through Bowser's shield. You need to avoid his strengths and good options while exploiting his weaknesses to the best of your abilities. Except if you're Peach. So that's the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you learned something useful. Now, obviously there's a lot I didn't cover. There's no way to talk about every single way to counter Bowser just in one video. A lot of the stuff I didn't talk about, you'll learn by simply playing with a Bowser. Anyways, thanks again so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.